teaches you heart-centered ways to manifest healing on your own behalf and how to integrate love more fully into your daily life. Connect with your angels as you find your life flowing with ease and harmony. Walk the path of light with Francine and Dr. Pat Basili every month on TransformationTalkRadio.com.
Tune in to the Angels and Answers Psychic Radio Show with clairvoyants Artie Hoffman and Sky Siegel every Thursday for a 2-hour show, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Transformation Talk Radio. Artie and Sky deliver spiritual and motivational messages with passion and a sense of humor. Call in 800-930-2819 for live and on-air readings. Visit artiehoffman.com and skyofangels.com.
Get ready to rid yourself of all that is weighing you down and holding you back from living the life you want for yourself. Coming Clean, The Art of Transparency with Catherine Moss is a hit show for women in recovery who are ready to live life on purpose. Tune in and let Catherine help you live your truth one day at a time. Live each Tuesday, 9 a.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com. Have you ever tried to make lifestyle changes but had difficulty following through? Imagine what it would be like to get up each morning with energy, clarity, and motivation to tackle the day. If you want to get past limiting barriers that are preventing you from living your best life, join holistic health and wellness coach T. Carey Mitchell each month on the Dr. Pat Show. Or visit lifestyle120.com today and start to receive the personal attention you deserve.
Welcome back. It's great to have you here. Culture Brilliance Radio, the DNA of organizational excellence with Claudette Rowley. Claudette, let's take a minute and please tell folks how they can find out more about you. What's the best way to contact you if they want to find out more about your consulting services and business? Please share that with folks.
Oh, thanks, Pat. I'd be happy to. So the best way to reach me is through my website, which is ClaudetteRowley.com. And my email and my phone number on there, and I'd love to talk to anybody who wants to reach out.
I love it. This has been something you've created, and I think it's really important to just take a minute before we go to this next segment and talk about leaders that listen. You've been working with organizations and look at organizational culture in 3 ways: authenticity, design, and integration, right?
Right.
And when you do that, clearly communication is super, super important. But usually when we hear communication, people think, oh, that's me talking to you. But you have something that's even 10 times more important than that to share about creating this brilliant culture.
Absolutely. How we can listen, right? How leaders can listen. How we can listen to each other.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to laugh right there.
Yeah, one of the things I have noticed is that there are a few things that drive disengagement faster than people not feeling listened to. It's demotivating, it's demoralizing. It makes many people shut down or they get angry or have a whole host of reactions we really don't want them to be having, and we certainly don't want to feel ourselves. So listening is a really foundational element of employee engagement, of harnessing emotional energy, and it's definitely of creating a brilliant culture. It's huge. You really can't move forward without listening.
Yeah. And, it's fascinating about this. When we go look at, we go online and we look for new ideas about how people are talking about this. I was really struck by this, in looking at how people are talking about engagement, whether it's individual performance and emotional intelligence or organizational performance and organizational engagement. What's really interesting is when they look at individuals, they're really pointing to this emotional intelligence thing. But when they're looking at organizations, they're looking at some kind of word they call organizational engagement. But not many of the models at all really dig in to the parts of communication that are important. I found one bit of information that said, am I informed and do they listen? Talking about priorities that drive engagement. But where is it that we can talk about and say to our leaders, listening is so important that if it's not done well, it leads to any different point of cultural breakdown, trust breakdown, commitment breakdown. I mean, even something as hearing something somebody says and then misunderstanding it can cause an enormous conflict, right? So isn't this the part of cultural brilliance that if we don't get this thing right, certainly disaster can break out?
It absolutely can. And even when a misunderstanding doesn't lead to conflict, we can see the domino effect where it leads to a series of actions that end up not making any sense or causing people to have to go back and rework everything simply because one person very honestly misunderstood another. And it could have been someone wasn't communicating clearly or wasn't listening. Edgar Schein, who is one of the forefathers of organizational culture, has written a new book called Humble Inquiry and is really talking now about this concept of humble leadership. And in it, his book Humble Inquiry is actually about asking leaders to ask questions versus telling people what to do and how that impacts culture. And that's huge. And when I run trainings and work in organizations on management skills and leadership skills, one of the key takeaways people report back is they realize they have to listen better. They have to work on their active listening skills. They realize they need to ask more questions. There's still this prevalent in certain organizations and many organizations, this prevalent, really outdated concept that when you're managing and leading, you tell people what to do. Yeah. Or it goes too far and it becomes really all consensus based. And we know 100% consensus means very little gets done. And so there needs to be a happy medium in the middle somewhere. And I like where Edgar Schein is taking this, ask questions, get it, leaders should be getting input from their direct reports, from other people when they're making important decisions and looking at their next step, because a leader in this day and age can't have all the information he or she needs because information's flowing so quickly, so rapidly, and changes are happening so rapidly that they actually need to talk to other people who know more about a particular piece of information than they do.
Yeah, I mean, you think about this now, and I love that you brought up Edgar Schein, right? I mean, here we are talking about somebody that has had his foot in this culture dialogue for longer than I can even remember, right?
Right.
And yet he's still at it, right? We're still looking at why are we still talking at culture today as if we haven't learned anything? But the thing I think that's really fascinating about what you're talking about today is that it's not that the work that people have done previously on culture don't matter, but it's similar, Claudette, to the work that people did on leadership theory when organizations were stable, right?
Right.
When you have somebody in a job that could work their way up. Now, this is a whole new ball game. And doesn't it really require a whole new set of tuning in listening skills?
It really does. It does require a whole new set of tuning in and listening skills. And I think one of the ironies is at a time when things are moving more quickly than ever and changing more quickly than ever, we are actually being asked and really are required to slow down enough to listen even more carefully. So there's a juxtaposition there, but it is a big part of creating a brilliant culture. And listening, as we know, it builds connection, it builds relationship, it builds trust. It's one of the basic tenets of negotiation, cooperative negotiation, is that we have to listen to what's important to other people. So at a time we're moving rapidly, we actually have to slow down.
Yeah. I mean, part of this, though, is we literally can become clueless. We can become clueless. We can get to a place where we cannot see things. We can't see it. We're sitting there in front of it. We can't see it. Then they call you and you come in. And so what you see is what they don't see.
Yeah. Some organizations become what I call culture blind, or sometimes leaders have a bout of cultural blindness. And it's almost like the old parable of the emperor not having any clothes, where they become so much a part of the culture, which in some ways is good, but in some ways leads to their inability to step outside of it and look at how it's operating, positively and not so well. And so one of the things, I can help organizations do is really be able to look at the culture in an honest, authentic way. What's going well? What's working well? What do we want to shift or change here to better meet the needs of the organization and the people inside of it? And it really behooves leaders to do the same thing. And even if they're going to see things they really don't want to see, to be honest about it and listen to what people are telling them.
I love this. We're going to take a short break, everyone. When we come back, we're going to talk about how do we listen beyond differences. But wait a minute. What does that mean in brilliant engagement? What is the cornerstone that Claudette has opened our eyes to here and looking at that brilliant culture? Because it's hard not to see clearly when the organization truly does shine. Let's take a short break, everyone. When we come back, again, I'll make sure you have information about Claudette. Today's show is absolutely fabulous. Engagement. Harness your organization's emotional energy. And if you're thinking, I would love to do that and I don't know how, when we come back, we'll give you lots and lots and lots of information about Claudette. We'll be right back. Wow. Hey, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to the Dr. Pat Show. This is Talk Radio to Thrive By. I'm telling you, I got to pinch myself some days because when each of us gets called to do something that we so not thought was in our wheelhouse to do for a purpose that's so much greater than us, we get to show up and shine.
If you would like to show up and shine on the Dr. Pat Show as a co-host or sponsor, send us an email to inspire@thedrpatshow.com.
Sky Siegel co-hosts one of today's most popular psychic shows, Angels and Answers, with Artie Hoffman, as she communicates healing messages from the spirit world. These messages can be astounding, enlightening, and life-changing. Born with the God-given talent of inner guidance and the amazing ability to heal, Sky has healed thousands of people. Schedule a reading with Sky now. Call 908-500-1474 and visit skyofangels.com. Get into it for 2016. Do you want more prosperity, clarity, energy, and balance in your life? Join Lynn Brown now for one of her amazing workshops, each focusing on a key part of living your best life. For more information and to register for one of these amazing workshops, visit lynnbrownevent.com. That's lynnbrownevent.com. And get into it this 2016 with Lynn Brown.
What is a brilliant culture and how do we create them? Why are they important? Claudette Rowley has created a breakthrough 5-step process to help you design a culture that thrives. Whether you want to increase your business's success or create a more engaged, unified workforce, Claudette can help. We cannot thrive in a toxic environment. Learn how to create change with cultural brilliance and Claudette Rowley. To learn more or to work with Claudette, visit ClaudetteRowley.com.
Are you ready to stop stress, anxiety, and low self-esteem from running your life? Join award-winning author Dr. Friedemann Schaub for Empowerment Radio and learn breakthrough solutions to switch out of survival mode and approach every day with great ease, joy, and purpose. Tune in the first and third Wednesday at 11 a.m. Pacific to Empowerment Radio with host Dr. Friedemann Schaub on Transformation Talk Radio. Visit thefearandanxietysolution.com to learn more.
Holistic Medical Center is where you find it all. A healthy space with doctors who care, see, and listen to the whole you. Hi, this is Dr. Darvish. If you have not found an answer to your chronic symptoms, you will find answers here at Holistic Medical Center. Our doctors find the root cause of your symptoms and guide your body towards healing naturally. We transform lives from within. Visit drdarvish.com or call 425-451-0404.